excuse me, retired U.S. Army Brigadier General Greg Zanetti. He's also running for governor in New Mexico. General, great to have you with us.
Don, it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
Well, let's talk about the economics of this. First of all, why is Russia's decision to take rubles and back rubles to gold for these oil deals so important?
John, military and money go together. There are really only two forms of a nation's strength. One is the strength of its physical economy from which we get money. And it's from the money you can afford your submarines, your tanks, and your jets. So what we saw early in this war was Biden go after the ruble, and he was successful. He slammed it down. And now Putin has counterattacked very effectively. And by saying, look, for my oil, I'm only going to take rubles or gold, John, he's effectively backing his currency by something tangible. Meanwhile, we continue to print dollars out of thin air, and Putin is saying, game on.
Yeah, you can look at the ruble bouncing back in the short term over the last couple of months here. Over the long term, though, the last 5 years or so, it's dropped dramatically. And I think that's the difference here. So many people are looking at this particular conflict with such a short time frame. We have to always look at these things with a longer lens, don't we?
We do. And the longer lens actually is this merger of powers over there. China is clearly on board with the Russians, and so is India, so is Iran, and China is trying to bring Saudi Arabia on board to form a commodity-backed currency system separate from the US Western system that they say we're just producing digits whenever we want to, and in exchange, you're getting to buy our real commodities, our real goods. We object. We want to move to a new financial system separate from the West and this financial economy that we've created.
And if we don't change the way we go about business, I mean, that could be a reality. And, you hear about some of the stats as it relates to the U.S. dollar. Sometimes it sounds like it is a cryptocurrency, how much money has been printed just in the last few years. Something else we want to talk about is we're hearing there are lots of issues when it comes to the supplies of the military aid that's been provided to Ukraine. It's already been approved and shipped over there. We heard the Pentagon talking about it, but Zelensky says this stuff is not getting there as promised. The Pentagon says they're doing the best they can, but what is your assessment of our ability to supply Ukraine with weapons? What's going wrong?
Well, initially we were supplying into Western Ukraine, and then the Russians a couple of weeks ago sent in a hypersonic missile or two and blew all those arms to smithereens. And so now we're having to stage in Poland. Well, John, you can see the map. I mean, it's like 800 miles from the Polish border all the way to eastern Ukraine where the fighting is going on. Russia has air superiority, plus they have sea superiority. So bringing in these arms via aircraft or boats almost impossible. That means you've got to bring it by convoy over ground. But traveling 800 miles supply line without drawing attention, from convoys, without the Russian Air Force coming in to destroy it, that's nearly impossible. So now you have to bring in these arms in passenger vehicles or vans, onesies and twosies, and they don't hold a lot of, how much can you put in the trunk of a car?
Yeah.
So that's your issue. Plus you've got fuel shortages already, and you're going to have the roadblocks and the inspection points. So this is a huge logistical challenge for the West to get these arms and resupply to Zelensky.
Logistics, one of the many reasons why war is hell. Thanks for your time. Great to see you. Brigadier General Greg Zanetti, we appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.